How's it going, everyone? So I do apologize just at the beginning of this for any wind noise or dog barking. It's really windy today, and so I had to drag the canoe over here, a place kind of close to where my dogs live, and they might bark. Take no offense to it. So I've got a trip coming up. It's a 5-day canoe trip. In truth, I'm going to be camping on a floating dock at the Sea Rim State Park for 5 days, Monday to Friday. Got to check in at 2 o'clock and leave by 12. But the dock is about 2 miles, I think, inside the marsh. Might be a little farther than that. I got to check up on that. So I'm going to go over my canoe gear. And any questions y'all have, go ahead and ask me, and I'll try and answer them if I can. This is my first big trip all by myself. First time I've actually gone anywhere in my canoe. I've gone to the local river around here a few times, and it's kind of nice. So, but this might not be the canoe I go with, because I've got a trade going on for another canoe, but I won't know till the day after I shoot this video. So keep your eyes posted. If there's a different canoe in the video, don't worry about it. So we're going to start off pretty simple. We're going to start off in the back where I sit. Start with our big paddle. You might think, good Lord, that's a big paddle. It is. It's almost 3/4 of the length of the canoe. And the canoe, before I go too far, the canoe is an Old Town Saranac 14.6. It's 14 feet 6 inches long. It holds 2 people. I think it has a weight limit of like 800 pounds, 6 to 8. So this is not the paddle that came with it. It didn't come with a paddle. I traded a trailer for this a few months ago. This came with my flat stalker. I've used my flat stalker. I got it last October, but I don't really like it. And now that I have the canoe, the flat stalker is for sale, but this paddle works really, really well with the canoe. This is Stiffy brand push poles. Stiffy push poles. Don't know if they're still in business. Flat stalkers went out of business early 2000s. So we're watching a few people. They all use, kayak paddles, and this is basically a kayak paddle. And after I took the canoe out one time, boy, I was exhausted just with the motion of the canoe paddle and all that. So I have this. Sit down in here. And this should be much better in open water. Paddle, we'll see how that goes. I haven't used this yet, but I'm pretty excited about it. However, just in case, I do have a regular canoe paddle. It's a little short for me. So if you don't know, the way you do check a canoe paddle's length for yourself, put your foot out, paddle on top of it, handle's supposed to come up to your nose. You can tell this one's about 1/2 foot short. I need around a 6-foot paddle to a 5.5. This is 5-foot paddle. Actually, I'm not sure where this paddle came from. Doesn't matter. I got stuff like that no matter what. Pretty simple. Next 2 things, once again, very simple things. Everyone should have these. It's an anchor. Not sure where I got this. I got this off of a saltwater boat, actually, that I acquired. And I have a dozen anchors. I go through boats like mad. Now this can read that, it says Shapo towels. And this usually has paper towels in it. But I wound my rope, my anchor rope, into this. So now I have a nifty little container that has a nice top in it. So I know it's not revolutionary. I know someone else has thought of that. But these Shapo towel containers come in really handy. I use them for electrical cables, rope, just all kinds of things, which is why I like buying the Shapo towels. Put that over there. Final thing is the most important thing. You should always go on a canoe trip, or any trip really, with this. Even if you're hiking, this is an alert locate box. It's in case you get lost or hurt, you gotta exfil, find someone that's hurt, find something that's wrong. This box is the most important thing on the boat. Do not leave without it. I know y'all might not, there's a little, came across a little strong, but don't leave without it. So it's a marine signal kit. I'm going to pop it open. Comes with flares, flare gun, and a white, not a white, but a orange signal flag. Comes with instructions. There we go. And must have this. You can build your own if you need to, do that. No problems about that. I have one that stays in my truck permanently. There's a flare gun, whistle, flares. Sorry guys, I think a fire ant just bit me. I did not buy this. Along with the anchors, I acquired this in one of my boats I bought. But must have this. So just FYI, this is not the final loadout of the boat. The final loadout, I'm going to practice tomorrow and just get all the place, everything set in place. I'm going to do the middle section now. The middle section does not have a whole lot. Do have our fishing backpack. This is my little bait rod. I will be carrying 2 or 3 more poles with me on this trip. Next is my Ryobi fan. I love this fan. It's a great fan. Battery powered. You can plug a cord into it, run it anywhere. I've used this on every adventure I can. I took adventure last year. I got several of those videos where I camped out in my truck. It was not fun. The fan made it bearable. You probably won't use this but one day. There's one day where it's going to be around 80 degrees, but it's always a good idea to take it because this is Texas and we woke up to 40-degree weather today, whereas last week it was, actually earlier this week it was 80. So I'm not promoting Ryobi, but I will say the Ryobi one has served me well. Easily buy any other type of fan. Next is a lantern. This is my Coleman lantern. It's got, this is a clamshell case. This is my Coleman lantern. I bought this at a garage sale for $10. Fires right up. It's awesome. I like to take it with me. I took it in October. So that means I do have to carry Coleman gas to keep the lantern powered. That's not an issue. So that's won't be in the video, but I do bring a gallon of Coleman gas with me. But the lantern should burn up to like 8 to 14 hours off of one tank. I mean, this is probably a third of a gallon, not positive. In the bottom of my lantern case, I have mantles. I have 3 packages. Each package has minimum of 2. I think one has a minimum of 4 and such. The funnel for the lantern is actually on my fuel can. So before I go anywhere, I'll fill this up. It might be full right now. And I like having, hey, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's why I apologize. Katie, hey, be nice. I'm not sure what she barked at. Now, the clamshell case does take up a lot of room. It needs to stay in the case for protection, obviously. One thing you could do if you're worried about tipping over, I'm not. There's no rapids, no nothing. It's going to be pretty simple. Paddle in, paddle out. They make foam keychain floats for boat keys. Easily put a couple of those on the top here in case you went under. This would go upright and probably float. I think those keychain holders hold up to 5 pounds or something. So, lantern. Doesn't have to be gas, but I like gas. We'll include one other thing, 2 other things in the middle section. Got a 50-degree weather sleeping bag. It is supposed to get down to the 40s, maybe dipping into the 39s, but with this, I've got my bedding material I'm bringing. I shouldn't have a problem, really. I wasn't sure I was going to bring this, because a couple weeks later I want it. I just bring my bedding material, because it's Texas, it gets warm, but we will be bringing this. Sleeping bag, shoes appropriate. Now the next item is a tent. I actually had to go buy a new tent. The platform I'll be on is about 20 foot by 20 foot, but there's a big column in the middle of it for privacy when you use the restroom. So I couldn't bring my 4-person tent. It's a little bit too big for that to be comfortable. So I went to Walmart, $29.99. A 1-person backpack tent. So this might condense down some. Kind of interested to see if it does, because if it does, I will do that. So this might not end up in the middle section at all. So that's the middle section. We'll start with the front section. The reason I kind of like this 2-person canoe setup is I really kind of want it for fishing purposes. I want the seat in the middle more, just because I'm a big guy. It balances it out a lot more. Because in fishing, I don't have 200 pounds worth of stuff. But with the front seat in it, and set up the way it is now, from factory, I can put everything in the front and it actually stay there with very little items. So I'm going to get this out of the way. This is a fold-up trash can. You don't have to bring it. I'm bringing it because I just want the trash can. You know, I don't need to justify having a trash can, I don't think. This is $8 at Walmart. It's 30 liters. So you could actually use this as a storage bin if you wanted to. Say you had consumable items. You could pop this open, Here, I'll pop it open real quick. There's no good way to carry it, so if you had to do some portaging, but if you need to just put something in here that you weren't going to bring with you the entire trip, this could be an excellent option. So it pops open, about 30 liters. And pretty simple. This is currently just sitting in the boat. I might be putting it in some place or not. I'm not sure yet. I don't need it open. So they do make a 60 liter and I believe a 100-liter version of this. If you were ever going to go camping, this is an excellent option. Next, this kind of goes with my sleeping bag, so I'm gonna, but I do have it separate right now. This is sleeping bag liner. It's part of my bedding kit. I will go over my bedding kit in a separate video because it's a standalone kit that goes with me almost everywhere. Got this at Walmart. It's on sale. 11 bucks. Normally $25. Gonna be perfect. Next, this is my galvanized water cooler. I bought this for a camper I was building right when I got out of high school. Got rid of the camper, kept this. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, because I'm kind of thinking about mixing up some Gatorade before I go on the trip and putting the Gatorade in this so that I have a lot of Gatorade in one spot. It's either I do that or I take canned Gatorade or bottled Gatorade. But I use this on a lot of trips. The inside is enamel, so it's basically rust proof so long as I take care of it and clean it out. This is a Napa bulk amp. I think this is like a promotion item, I don't know. I bought it off eBay and it's awesome. I'm going to keep telling you it's awesome because it is awesome. Highly suggest bringing a water cooler. I will bring one other thing. One other thing is I'll be carrying my water in these. This is a 20-pound kitty litter container. You know, it's pretty ergonomically shaped. Fits small and everything. My dad likes to use the 5-gallon water Ozark things that you put in the dispenser and all that. I don't want to do that. It takes up a lot of room. It's very round. It's bigger than my clamshell, but this, I mean, you can look at the clamshell lantern case and it's very ergonomic. This holds about 3 gallons, so I'll bring 2 of these and I'll have 6 gallons, which should be enough, I believe. But before anyone comments or anything about this is unsafe, I do wash this and I have used this in the past. I get about 2 years out of them. I have cats. It costs me nothing. I've got to buy them no matter what. That being said, do wash them, okay? I'm going to fill this up with soap in a few minutes because this is a new one. Grab my other one out and do the same thing. So, alright. Next is another new purchase for me. Is an aluminum folding side table. Everyone's seen them, everyone's had them, I believe, at this point. I got this on sale again at Walmart. It is a $35 originally, and it was marked $19.99. Check before you do self-checkout or any checkout because they didn't have it listed as that in the system for some reason. But I took a picture. I always take a picture of clearance item price that aren't marked on the actual item itself. Luckily, because of that, I was able to get it returned, and I bought it for 20 bucks. If I had bought it at Walmart, I would have bought it at Academy, where it's $25. Regular price. But just need a good table to put my stove on, and this is it. This is beefy. It's really light, actually. My dad's got a fold-up one that I like a lot, but I didn't have time to buy it, get it ordered, and get it shipped. I don't believe. It's just one of those things. I'm trying not to order a whole bunch of stuff because my trip is I leave Saturday morning, and it is Wednesday afternoon. So, next, Coleman stove. This was my great-grandfather's, on my mother's side's stove. I was lucky to get one after he died, unfortunately. I got it when I was 13, 14. However, being a knucklehead 13-year-old, I'd never seen anyone use a white gas stove. So the original fuel tank I had in it, I threw away. My dad had an adapter. He said, use a propane adapter, it'll be great. Okay. So I threw this away for no reason. These are expensive by themselves. I have seen these. This is a 413G. Very popular model, I believe from the 70s and 80s. These run about 50 bucks, maybe 7, depending on the condition. I don't have 70 bucks for that. But I've used it as a propane stove quite a bit, and I was lucky enough, I was on Facebook Marketplace and found one in a scrap pile. I actually have this in a video. If you would like to watch that, I'll give the full story of those two stoves. I still have the 413 stove, the other one that this fuel tank came from originally. It is in the storage building. No one had bought it yet. No big deal. So if you'd like to go watch that video, go ahead. I'll tell you the 425 that I had in that video, I have already sold it, and I made some money off of it. So with using the lantern, I already have to bring Coleman gas. So I'm going to bring Coleman gas. Might as well bring the gas stove. I do have my propane adapter just in case, and I have a tank of propane. I'll go over that in a separate video when I go over the very next thing I'm about to show you. These Coleman stoves, the brand new, they are 250 bucks. With the, whether it be propane, you can get a cheaper propane stove for I think 50 bucks or so, and this works really well. If you want a white gas stove like I have, which I do suggest if you're gonna go adventure throughout the country, you can obviously buy an adapter. The adapters are hard to find because no one uses them anymore, but I found them on Sportsman's Warehouse for like 40 bucks. But the white gas stoves are better for cooking in cold environments because gasoline has a very low ignition temperature. It can ignite up to negative 43 degrees or something like that. So, if you're going to do adventures, think about getting a white gas stove just in case. This next item, I love it so much. I'm going to get one more of these probably after this trip. This was actually my birthday present from my mom and dad, and the harness for this was the present from my brother. For those who don't know, this is a Canoe barrel. I will do a separate video on the contents of the Canoe barrel. So I'm just going to go over the outside of it. Use this to store whatever you want. Barrels themselves are a bit expensive if you buy them through a reputable dealer or through Amazon as a Canoe barrel. You can buy the same barrels on eBay or maybe locally for $5 to $30. These are food grade plastic barrels. Some of them you'll have to clean out, but these are waterproof. That's why people love them for canoe trips. So go over, this will float. If I go over in a dangerous place and I need something to hold on to, I can get this. Got a snap ring, then it's got lid. So it's watertight. Got a little spider in here. Must have got out whenever I was packing this the other day. So these come in 55 gallons, 20 gallons, and 25 gallons, I think. Or 60 liter and 30 liters. I think you can get 30 liters is about 15 gallons. This is a 20 gallon one, so it's closer to 35, I believe. Don't quote me on any of this. I have no time for your metric system BS. But the harness itself is actually really nice. Actually, this might be a 60 liter. Yeah, this is a 60 liter. The 30 liter is a 15 gallon, I believe. I'm not sure. Look it up yourself. Do the research. The harness, I absolutely have a harness for this no matter what. You can use a frame backpack harness and strap it to this, but they do actually make real harnesses. So, and all my kitchen stuff is in here, so it is a little heavy, but not bad. It's got really good waist strap, chest strap. It feels really good, but I don't know. Definitely work for what I have to do. I think I'll actually buy the frame backpacks next and try that just to see, because you can tell it's sitting way back. Where it sits on my back itself actually starting to rotate, where the barrel itself is closing in at the bottom. So, but I walked a mile with it yesterday, no issues. It's indestructible. Me and Dad are talking about it and debating using it for some hunting trips we have, just because it's indestructible. Pack everything in it, just go. So that's the barrel. I will be doing a separate video on what goes inside of the barrel. Got handles. Handles are awesome. And yeah. Once again, this is the last item I have in the boat. I'll go over the very, very last item in a second. Air mattress. Y'all all know what it is. It goes with my bedding. I'm going to try and fold it up a lot tighter because it takes up a lot of room. So I will weigh all this, and before my trip I will tell you how much all this weighs. I think it weighs around 250-ish. So I weigh about 260. So I might have to cut some stuff down just so I don't get too far overweight. I'm going to look up the suggested weight limits for the boat, the canoe, and make a decision from there. So, the final item that I have to bring is a bucket, 5-gallon bucket. I have to bring it and some solid waste containers. There's no toilet on this, no plumbing, so you can't poop into the water. You have to poop into the bucket. It's not a big deal. I need to call them up and see what exactly I have to have. So that's it. That's everything. I am going to condense down a little bit, I believe. I believe I can get the tent into a smaller box and maybe carry my tent poles on my canoe barrel. My bedding bag I'll make a separate video on, and I'll include air mattress, my sleeping bag, and the sleeping bag liner. The items that will not get condensed down at all are canoe barrel, stove, the Ryobi fan, which I'll make that decision. I might actually get rid of it, not take that on the canoe trip. I'm going to go to Port Arthur for a couple days before this and camp out on the beach, just see how everything is, and then I'll make my decision. Lantern. So we got canoe barrel, stove, lantern, water jugs, and my water cooler. 5 items that beyond a single doubt will not be condensed down. They will not get smaller. They will not be removed from the canoe at all. The table might get strapped to the canoe barrel, so it might just become one item. Or it might get strapped with the stove or whatnot, and so on and so forth. But that's it. So, that's everything. The canoe is empty. I gotta move the canoe in a minute. We're getting some bad weather. I'm gonna move everything up onto the overhang and go from there. If you have any questions, comment. If you want just randomly talk, comment. If you could like and subscribe, it helped me grow the channel as much as possible. I've actually grown significantly in the past 6 months. Around 6 months ago, when I took my October trip, I had around 23 subscribers. I am up to 49, I believe, the other day I checked it. So that's really good. Growing this channel is kind of one of my goals this year. I want you guys to stay with me. I'm going to become super famous with this channel. So that's about it. Not much more than that.